हेलो। अच्छा। नहीं, तो मतलब कि अब 3 बजे ना हमारी, तो सर अब आप अब अभी हॉटस्पॉटेज में ही हो? ओके। हुँ। चलो ठीक है। चलो, मतलब आप फिर आ जाओगे ना? आप ही करोगे ना? हाँ, चलो ओके। ठीक है सर। बाय।
ये रूल्स वगैरह सेट कर लो बिकॉज आई कुड
हाँ जी मैम।
ऐसे रूल्स
चैट
सेट कर लो पहले बिकॉज आई जस्ट लॉग्ड इन एनीबडी कैन लॉग इन एंड मेरे को को होस्ट बनाओगे तो मैं भी कुछ कर सकती हूँ
हाँ, वो तो मैं आपको भी बनाती हूँ।
सिक्योरिटी वगैरह
मोर ये मोहित मोहित जैन, तो हमारा एडमिट कर लेते हैं।
सिक्योरिटी किया
मैंने आपको को होस्ट बना दिया मैम।
हाँ
और सिक्योरिटी में चैट को मैं हटा रही हूँ।
नहीं चैट को रहना है वहां पर जाके हमें करना पड़ेगा
मैंने आपको को होस्ट तो बना दिया।
हाँ ठीक है
तो चैट को डिसेबल कर देना।
नहीं वहां पर चैट विपिन को करने दो
मैंने वैसे चैट को भी कर दिया।
नहीं यू हैव टू
मैंने कर दिया मैम चैट वाला कर दिया होस्ट
चैट को हाँ लेकिन चैट को यहाँ से रिमनीत ने डिसेबल कर दिया तो यहाँ से तो एनेबल करना होगा ना
वो एनेबल करना
इसलिए हाँ
वो मैंने कर दिया मेरी चैट आपको दिखाई दे रही है
यहाँ से एनेबल करना है चैट एज इन चैटिंग नहीं
फिर वो होस्ट को ही देखते
रिमनीत ये chat in the security has to be on which I have done it is यहाँ पर जो चैट में क्लिक करके जो आती है यहाँ पर 3 डॉट्स आते हैं ना participants can chat with host only विपिन तुमने पार्टिसिपेंट्स के चैट विद होस्ट ओनली नहीं किया अभी मैंने किया तो सारा दिखा रहा था हाँ मुझे अभी तो एवरीवन जो किया वो तो शो कर रहे हैं हाँ हाँ लेकिन चैट में जो डिसेबल कर इधर आओ और वहीं रहो ये जो था ना यहाँ पर सारे टिक थे
नहीं ये
अलाउ
अकेले
कर
किया
दिया
मैंने हाँ जी
हाँ इसीलिए और यहाँ तो अनेबल ही करना है ना
हाँ ये एनेबल
तभी वो बट होस्ट ओनली है
हाँ जी
ये आप लोगों को नहीं दिखाता ये मेरा
नहीं ये
सस्पेंड पार्टी
आपको दिखता है आपने अपडेट किया होगा
तुम
शायद
रिकॉर्ड क्यों कर रहे हो फॉर योर नेक्स्ट सेशंस तुम्हारी आवाज मुझे नहीं सुनाई दे रही मेरा कम में है क्या
मैंने एक्चुअली बंद कर दिया था।
ठीक है
तो रिकॉर्डिंग तो मैंने
On my own behalf, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the participants who all are attending today's session, which is very, very important for MSME, credit rating and alternative sources of raising finance from MSME, for MSME. We had this program which was organized last week, but unfortunately we couldn't continue and, then we had to break it in between. At the outset, I would like to take the opportunity to express my gratitude to Mr. Gaurav Sharma, who is technical expert from GIF, my friend and industrial fraternity leader of Derabasi Industries Association, Mr. Vijay Mittal, who is president of the chamber, Mr. Rakesh Khurana, regional manager of National Stock Exchange, Mr. Ananda Prakash Jha, Associate Director and Branch Head, Care Rating Limited. We have with us many eminent speakers. We have Dr. H.P. Kumar, a learned person in MSME, who was CMD in an NSIC and now advisor to the PhD Chamber of Commerce. We have with us Mr. Mohit Jain, who is heading the PhD Chambers MSME Committee. Welcome, Mohit ji. Mr. Rahul Priyadarshi, General Manager, come Regional in charge of SIDBI. Mr. Ananda Prakash Jha, and which we have already named, and now we have with us from CRISIL, Mr. Mubasir Bakir, who is Associate Director, Analyst and Operations. So with this, we are very, very thankful all of you, and I welcome to you all for this today's event. Most of you know about Chamber, so I would not like to repeat it, because last time all those participants who are part of his program were there, and they had listened and heard about Chamber also many times. So I will not take it further. So what is all the what we are going to discuss is the role and importance of credit rating and industry raising capital for MSME, which I have talked about the speakers we have, and the alternate source of funding for SME industry. With this, I would like to start the program, and I request first speaker, should I ask Mr. Mubasir Bakir, whom we have to start with?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From CRISIL. Yes, we'll start.
Yeah. Okay.
So first address is special address by Mr. Mohit Jain.
All right. So Mohit ji, kindly take it forward, and then we will ask the speakers to come forward. Thank you, Mohit ji. Please carry on.
Thank you, Sachdeva ji. A very good afternoon to all the distinguished speakers and the participants. Friends, today's discussion on credit rating and alternative source of raising for the MSME is a very important and a very timely issue to be raised, as it is one of the prime problems faced by the MSMEs. Non-availability of adequate credit at reasonable interest rate is one of the most important discussions today. One of the major causes for low availability of bank finance to this sector is the high risk of the banks in lending to MSME and consequent insistence on collaterals which are not easily available with these enterprises. The problem is most serious for micro enterprises. Sorry, am I audible?
Yes, sir, audible. Audible.
I thought there was some background. Okay. The high risk in lending to MSMEs, consequent insistence on collaterals which are not easily available with these enterprises. The problem is most serious for micro enterprises requiring small loans and the first generation entrepreneurs. The funding challenges for SMEs stem from banks and financial institutions finding it a task to assess SMEs' creditworthiness, choosing only to fund enterprises that have good CIBIL score, detailed audited financial statements, or have assets to offer as collateral. However, the problem is that number of companies which can meet this criteria is very low, while manufacturing units can mortgage the equipment against loans. Service-oriented SMEs are unable to do so, posing a challenge for them to avail finance in order to grow and scale up. NBFCs have stepped in to fill this void, but their collective scale at present is not enough to make a significant dent. This is where alternative technology-driven credit scoring, and assessment models can make a huge difference to fill the gap. India's MSME sector has a huge unmet demand for credit estimated at approximately $200 billion. A renewed approach towards MSME lending by both the fintech and traditional banking sector will play a pivotal role in bridging this gap and ensuring that these enterprises can effectively realize their true potential over the next few years. Friends, by leveraging digital technology and driving on the tailwinds of MSME focus government incentives, fintech and FIs are well poised to penetrate deeper into this segment. One of the alternate source of raising finance is supply chain financing, or SCFs. These services could help fill the credit gap for MSMEs in a cost-effective and efficient manner. SCFs consist of several options that aim to finance suppliers by using invoice and receivables as intermediate collaterals. Two common SCF methods are factoring and reverse factoring. Factoring is a financial transaction where suppliers sell their account receivables to a third party, a bank or a fintech, at a discount. Reverse factoring is also an accounts receivable financing mechanism, but in this case, the transaction is initiated by the buyer. SCF services can enable MSME suppliers and distributors to increase their working capital and in turn make them globally competitive. This type of financing helps lenders extend working capital finance to MSMEs by leveraging the existing commercial relationships between MSMEs and corporates. It also helps large corporates to improve their working capital management and enables financiers to assess, measure, and manage the risk of extending finance to MSMEs more effectively. As India moves towards expanding its export market, the availability of SCF for MSMEs will help significantly in easing the working capital pressure and enhance the linkages to global supply chains. Friends, banks have traditionally preferred offering working capital loans over supply chain-based finance due to lack of borrowers' data and difficulty in assessing the collateral provided. However, with the growing digitization and government initiatives, domestic factoring volume has also increased in the past few years. Fintechs have revolutionized the SCF segment by digitizing the interaction between entities. From utilizing analyticals to provide app-based financing arrangements. Technology is set to make the entire lending process more efficient, flexible, and transparent. Enabled by the remote technology, fintechs have launched multiple solutions and analytical capabilities to provide a seamless platform for buyers and suppliers. They have further differentiated themselves from banks by focusing on large e-commerce platforms to anchor clients to understand the entire supply chain and the MSME segment, and offer e-vendor financing for supply chain related purposes. Supply financing against invoices, as opposed to general working capital services. Innovations by fintechs span technology, product offering, and business models that they develop, and some of the innovations are technology innovation, that is using API-enabled services, analytical enablement and blockchain. Second is product innovation, warehouse receipt finance, invoice discounting, or capex discounting. Third business model is innovation, that is dynamic discounting, early cycle discounting, or securitization of SCFs. Partnership is another model being leveraged by fintechs to expand their user base and provide a point of sale financing mechanism for marketplace buyers and suppliers. The government of India has come up with multiple policies in order to encourage the growth of transparent SCF mechanisms and enable faster exchange of data between buyers, sellers, and financiers. I'm sure you people have all heard of TReDS, that is Trade Receivable Discounting Systems. The TReDS platform facilitates financing, discounting for both buyers and suppliers. Multiple companies have come up with their own TReDS platform to enable accounts receivable financing. Other fintechs are leveraging the linking of TReDS to the GST network to understand cash flows of MSMEs and offer them invoice financing options. And of course, also the government of India has done it for the public sector companies to come up on TReDS also. Account aggregator or AA framework. The RBI has launched an account aggregator framework to bring siloed financial data of customers on a single platform. This would allow customers to decide who gets access to their data and enable financial institutions to access data on a centralized platform. The AA framework and its centralized data management can enable suppliers and buyers to access financing options with the transaction data stored on a centrally managed and regulated framework. Friends, bolstered by the support of the government and increasing interest from the fintech companies, supply chain financing is expected to witness a significant innovations in the years to come, with the potential to significantly increase the working capital access for MSMEs and give them an alternate source for raising finance. Thank you. With these words, I hand it over to you, Sachdevaji.
Thank you very much, Mohitji. Thank you. So nice of you by giving a lot of inputs for MSME. We have another good speaker of chamber, Dr. H.P. Kumar, former CMD of NSIC and advisor of the chamber. Request Dr. Kumar to come forward and please give his keynote address.
Thank you, Sachdevaji. Thank you very much. My greetings to you. It's quite some time that we physically met, but you are doing a wonderful job in the Punjab chapter as a mentor. So greetings to you. And Mohit Jain, Chairman MSME Committee, and Mr. Mittal Derabassi, who is the President of Derabassi Industries Association, and other colleagues from SIDBI and NS National Stock Exchange, CARE, and all the distinguished participants. Well, and also Madhuji and Rimnitji, who have Kanchanji, who have who are the key organizers for this program. So we have an issue which has been deliberated for a long time. In fact, we are still finding the solutions to that problem. That is the credit flow to the MSME sector. While the government has been taking a lot of initiatives, giving guidelines, Reserve Bank of India allocating credit flow by way of priority sector lending targets, separate targets for micro lending. Now, during the COVID period, these separate schemes were also announced. But the problem of credit flow, adequate credit flow, when I'm talking about credit flow, still continues. As per a study of World Bank and Asian Development Bank, there is a credit gap of close to 25 billion US dollars vis-a-vis demand and supply. So how do we bridge this gap? First of all, what are the reasons for this? And when are we able to get the complete credit demand met from the banking system? And what should we do for this? In addition to the credit demand from the banking system, what are the alternative sources, that the issue that we are going to discuss today, of raising funds, whether it is credit or other sources of funds like bonds and receivables financing, as Mr. Jain also, Mohitji also mentioned. There are various other instruments which have come up over the period of time, like factoring has come up and TREDS platform has come up. Invoice financing is another instrument which has been talked about, and the Honorable Finance Minister also mentioned last year. There are certain credit flows which are backed by the Credit Guarantee Fund of the Government of India. And there is another fund which has been established for financing distressed accounts, that is non-performing accounts. That is a special, credit scheme which has been launched by the Government of India with a 20,000 crore fund. Now, there are various, segments of availability of financing, but the problem still, as I mentioned, continues with the borrowers. And whenever you talk to the borrowers, particularly the MSMEs and more particularly about the micro sector, the general issue is that we are not able to access the credit. The Government of India sometime back, I think about 5-6 years back, also launched Mudra scheme. Now, Mudra has become a very popular scheme in the country, and crores of people have got the benefit. But still, the demand continues. There are a lot of new enterprises coming up by first generation entrepreneurs. Now, women sitting at their homes, in their homes, are also starting some kind of micro enterprises from their homes, whether it is boutique or whether it is, cosmetics manufacturing, supplying, trading in various products, or, like garment making. There are many products which the healthcare products, educational related products, the women have come up. The other day I was, associated with a pitching platform where almost
कुमार साहब, सॉरी, आपका म्यूट हो गया कुमार साहब.
अच्छा, now it's okay.
हाँ जी,
Am I audible? Okay. So what I was saying is that there are millions and millions of micro and tiny enterprises, cottage enterprises, home-based enterprises, which are coming up in the country from remote areas, villages, small towns, and these are all business enterprises. For the sake of giving employment to millions of people who are unemployed, I think this is the best way that small enterprises need to be encouraged. And the finance and credit plays a very important role. So there is one segment of micro enterprises, new entrepreneurs, startup entrepreneurs, first generation entrepreneurs who need funding. Second segment is the existing enterprises, which are already running for a long time, quite some time, have become successful, have already started working, and their credentials are established, their balance sheets are available. So there also the issue is that the finance is available, credit is there, but most of them keep complaining about the adequacy of the finance, the problem of securities, that they are asked to give securities, and the cost, the rate of interest. So how do we handle such cases where the there is always need and urge to go for better options, for reducing the cost of finance and also becoming competitive. And the third segment is, other than the credit, we go for capital raising, the equity raising, the raising by way of, like venture funding, angel funding. So that becomes a part of the owner's capital, owner's funds. So that is another route which the upper layer of micro, small and medium enterprises can think of. Am I audible? Because there is some disturbance happening here.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, my screen is changing. Yeah. Oh. So we have different segments and different sources of availability of finance. So let me talk about a common problem. How do you handle, different sources for any kind of financing that you need, whether it is borrowing or, angel funding, venture funding, or the first thing is that the entrepreneur, the business person, the MSMEs need to know what is the scheme. If you are looking at a bank, a private sector bank, they will have a different scheme, different norms of lending, different requirements of documents, different way of assessing your credit worthiness or your need. And if you're talking a nationalized bank or a non-banking finance company or a institution which is different from general banking system. So first thing what is needed is that you understand the scheme, the norms of that particular institution, bank with whom you are going to deal. If they are allowing cash credit account, what is the requirement for cash credit? How much interest are they going to charge? What is there? Because all these things are published. Now, if you open their website, any institution's website, whether it is non-banking finance company or bank or any other institution, the terms and conditions are given there. So at least you are prepared to deal with that bank based on knowing with the informed, information knowledge that you are going to deal with the bank. Second thing, check the eligibility. We start applying to an institution for any assistance, whether it is funding by way of loan or a term loan or a working capital or a other funding like venture funding, without checking at whether we are eligible as per the requirement of that institution. That is very important, because if you are eligible, then only you should deal with. Otherwise, you will get frustrated. You are going to make the application, meet the people, go a lot of make rounds of the institution, meet the branch manager or the regional manager and all that thing, submit the papers, spend a lot of money in getting the papers prepared. And at the end of the day, maybe when you hold the meeting and then when they evaluate your proposal, they find that you are not even eligible for that particular product or for that particular scheme. For example, this during COVID-19, this emergency credit line guarantee scheme came into operation, that 3 lakh crore. There is another scheme called distressed asset fund scheme of 20,000 crore. Now, both have different eligibility criteria. Now, if you go for making application under any of these schemes, and if you are not eligible, you will get frustrated. Unnecessarily, you will make application and then, so checking the eligibility is another important thing which you should understand. And then third thing is your credit worthiness. Now, having become eligible also doesn't mean that you're going to get the credit. You should be credit worthy. And how do you get credit worthiness checked? There are many ways. You yourself will understand based on your past performance. And second thing is, the best way is to have the third party opinion. And how do you get third party opinion? That is the credit rating. Now, I understand that credit rating Care is there probably with us to make a presentation. And credit rating, a third party assessment, gives you a confidence and also the financing institution. So that is the purpose of credit rating. I had launched a credit rating scheme in NSIC way back in 2005, where we were providing 75% subsidy also from the government of India for meeting the cost of credit. And it's only 25% that the MSME had to pay, which came to hardly 10,000 rupees. And people were very happy. I think that scheme is on hold as of now, and maybe the government comes out with the revised guidelines for credit rating. And even otherwise also, the cost of rating is not very high as we negotiated over the period of time. I think our friends from CARE would surely highlight as to what is the cost parameters. And I am sure that if you're going to raise a loan of 1 crore rupees or 2 crore rupees or even 50 lakhs, 10 lakhs rupees, if you get a rating done or in some other manner your credit worthiness established, I think nobody can refuse to provide you credit. So on the other hand, we should realize that banks are also, sitting to do their business, and providing credit is their business. So naturally, they want to be secured. They want to be, fully assured that they will be able to get the repayment in time and recover the cost of their lending that by way of interest, and they will not have difficulty in terms of security. Now, security is another issue where a lot of people keep complaining because there are funds available, credit guarantee. As per government, provisions, the credit up to 2 crores is guaranteed under the Credit Guarantee Fund Trust. Many banks and many institutions do not, recognize or accept, or some way or the other, like try to, obviate and get the additional securities done. And in such cases, we have advised the MSMEs, affected MSMEs, to lodge complaint on the Champions portal. There is a Champions portal launched by the Government of India, Ministry of MSME. And if you face any such problem with regard to non-acceptance of credit guarantee and insistence on collateral security by the bank, at least a complaint can be, or a reference can be made. So giving the name, because government says whenever we say that people don't accept the credit guarantee and ask for collateral security, they say give us the specific names and specific examples, because don't say generally people are not accepting, people are accepting. So that is from their side. So if we can mention in the Champions portal that this is the branch and we applied for 10 lakhs rupees and they are not giving under the credit guarantee, asking for collateral, action will be taken, and that branch will be surely advised to follow the government guidelines. So these are some of the inputs which I thought let me give. We have a friend from National Stock Exchange also. I think he is going to give us a presentation on how to get the equity listed on the stock exchanges by the small and medium enterprises. That's a very interesting way of raising money. In fact, it doesn't have annual cost, but it has, of course, different cost in terms of owner's capital. For this purpose, the government has also set up a fund of funds of 50,000 crore, which is given to my earlier organization, National Small Industries Corporation, who will be managing this fund through the daughter funds. It's a 10,000 crore fund which NSIC has got, and then remaining 40,000 crore will come from the 4 daughter funds at the rate of 10,000 crore each. So it's a huge corpus of 50,000 crore. The purpose is to provide equity to the extent of 10-15% participation in the IPOs and fresh equity listing by the SMEs, or even otherwise also, fund the existing enterprises which are good for taking the investments. So I think we expect a detailed presentation from National Stock Exchange. And then we have a friend from SIDBI. SIDBI is, of course, a prominent institution in the country. We signed just a week back, PhD Chamber signed a memorandum of understanding with SIDBI for all India, services. So SIDBI will be joining hands with PhD Chamber for helping the micro, small and medium enterprises across the country with all its products. So we can expect SIDBI also to highlight their major products, in fact, for SME sector. So I'll stop here because there are various presentations available with us who would surely guide us as to how do we bridge this gap and how do we, become credit worthy to avail the credit financing. Thank you. And over to you, Sachdeva sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Saab, for your detailed, highlighting about the things what we are doing at the chamber and the SIDBI's role and other agencies' role. It's very good. Yes, as MSME, we also feel that there is improvement now with the fund flow and the banks are supporting now, and the interest rate is also very, very less now. I mean, very competitive, very 8%. So things are good. happening for the industry. Taking forward, now I would like to request Mr. Mubashir Bakir. Mr. Bakir from CRISIL. He's an analyst and operations associate director and seasoned credit risk professional with more than a decade experience of delivering various standardized and customized offerings for MSME, acted as knowledge partner in various forms and events. Over to Mr. Bakir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I think Mr. Kumar and Mr. Mohit explained some synopsis on alternative fundings and what are the sources of fundings. They gave a synopsis on that. But I would like to take a step back and obviously explain more about the credit rating and how, what is the purpose of the credit rating and how it is the first step to actually get finances, because when as an MSME you approach any banker or a financer, it is very important to understand for them to understand the MSME's background or the business, and that is where the credit rating or the SME grading product which we have it helps these MSMEs to actually portray their business, their management and their financial standing, and obviously it becomes easier for them to avail funding in the market. So with that, obviously I'll just a minute. Can you see my screen, Rimneet? Is my screen visible? Okay.
Yes, we can see. Yeah.
Okay. So just to give you a background of CRISIL, CRISIL has been one of the foremost leading rating agency. We have done more than 25,000 large and mid-scale ratings, and by far the largest SME ratings, that is more than 1,44,000 SMEs we have rated in India. We are also the largest independent research house with 90% of banking industry being our clients. And we also, through our customized and industry research teams, we track more than 80 industries. We are obviously we work with 75 global financial institutions across the globe, and we have also the creator of the RAM, which is the risk assessment model, which most of the banks today used to fund or give funds to various for their various customers. And we also work with various government agencies. So with that, before we move on into what is, let's understand what is a credit rating and who are the users of this credit rating. So credit rating is basically an opinion on the issuer's ability and willingness to honor the financial obligation, and it could be the debt or the credit worthiness also. So it also enables us to understand the credit worthiness of an entity. There are two types of credit rating. One is the rating which we give to long-term instruments, which are from a scale of CRISIL AAA to CRISIL D, which is a 20-point scale. And what is important for MSMEs today is the SME grading, which is on an 8-point scale from SME 1 to SME 8. I'll cover these in details. What is SME 1 to SME 8 mean? But that is what is important for the MSMEs to understand, that this is more to do with the nature of their business, and hence the SME scale has been created to evaluate smaller businesses. So MSME, we all know, is a critical sector and it is crucial for economic growth and employment generation. It contributes 30% to the GDP and employs 11.1 crore people, which is the second largest employment after agriculture. And there are more than 6 crore MSMEs in India, and 90% of these are micro enterprises, and that is why the challenges in funding is what we see which they face. So what are those challenges which the MSMEs are facing today? Obviously, the challenges are information asymmetry. They are not able to, obviously, they do not have information in place. Basically, their financials, the management and the business are not, they do not have a specific team who handles all these things, and they are not able to provide this in a proper manner to avail credit. They have small ticket size because their loan size are also very small. Obviously, the bankers and financiers do not pay much interest on these loans, and that is why there's another risk or another area with again the lack of collateral, limited credit history, and low levels of financial literacy, because a lot of these MSMEs are traditionally promoter driven entities, and a lot of these accounting and all those norms are handled by a separate outsourced accountants or CAs for them, and they are not able to understand these financial jargons, and hence they are not able to access the MSMEs are not able to access this, and that is where this is a challenge which we try to address through the SME grading products. So in the SME space, as mentioned earlier, we have rated more than 1,44,000 MSMEs. We have got a robust grading model. So we have got industry experts and we understand how the MSMEs function and what are the challenges faced by them. We have got wide coverage and we have got access to, we have got MOUs with many banks across India who recognize these gradings and obviously use this as a part of the credit model. And we also have digital offerings. So right now with the new age data, we give you access to digital offerings where you can directly upload some of your data points and you can quickly generate a grading report. So what is SME grading all about? So SME grading is similar to what we do for a large corporate. It is a similar credit assessment framework. However, it has been customized to take into account the nuances of the MSME segment. So the SME scale is from SME 1 to SME 8, starting from SME 1, which is the highest credit worthiness, to SME 8, which is a poor credit worthiness. So SME 6, 7, 8 are a lower part of the scale, and SME 1 and 2 are the highest which we give. This is obviously governed by the MSME segment. And what is the importance? So we evaluate the creditworthiness of SME. We do a thorough due diligence, and management interaction is also involved in this. There are plant visits and facility visits involved. We do stakeholder feedbacks, and we also give peer comparisons. And this enables, how does it help the MSMEs? It enables it to present its entire business into a proper report, and this helps the bankers to take credit decisions very quickly. So the grading framework which we have covers the industry risk. As we mentioned, we look at the industry specific risk, that is the industry which the MSME is operating into. The market position, this is obviously to understand what exactly is the market position, whether it is providing any niche products, and what is the scalability in the business. The operating efficiency in terms of obviously the financial risk which we look at. So we look at the management, business and financial risk to arrive at a final credit quality or a score, which helps you to put it on a scale of SME 1 to 8. So I'll go into details of all of these just to give you a synopsis on how detailed study is all about. So when we look at the business, the management part of it, we look at the business and management in terms of a track record of the business. Who are the customers, the relationship with stakeholders? It could be your customers, suppliers, bankers. The business certainty. So we look at the past 3 years financial track record. How has the business grown? What is the operational efficiency, and the promoter competence also. So promoter competence also looked in line with if this is a new business, then what is the other businesses which they were operating? What are the synergies between this business and the group entities? And what is the promoter's overall experience in this line of business? It could be through this business itself, or it could be from his past experiences. So all those cumulatively are looked in when we evaluate the business and management. When we look at the financial analysis, obviously we look at the accounting quality, whether the accounting processes are being followed, if there are any adjustments in the analytical, if there are any adjustments in the accounting, what are those adjustments, and whether those are as per the norms. The financial position in terms of the past and future financial performance, capital expenditure, the ratios, the debt protection ratios, working capital management, and also the financial flexibility. So we look at what are the current funding which they have availed what is the current utilization, and we'll also look at credit bureau scores over here. So this is also an important parameter in the overall evaluation. And why this is important? Because the credit bureau scores are also looked in by the bankers and financiers, and we incorporate this into our evaluation also, so that when we give you a scoring or a grading on a scale of SME 1 to 8, you can directly present this report to the banker, and that enables you to act because you already have collated the documents which we will ask you for this evaluation. With that documents and with the scoring which we give you, with the report which we give it to you, you can present it directly to the bankers on financials, and it enables them to take a quick decision and ensure that the funding is disbursed in a timely manner. In terms of financial ratios, just to give you an idea on what type of financial ratios are very important, and that is what you need to also take care of when you are evaluating your own businesses, is obviously the operating profit margins. This enables you to understand the cost competitiveness and pricing power. This is basically your EBITDA margins, that is from the core business operations, what are the margins you are earning. The net profit margin is obviously after factoring the finance cost and depreciation, and it enables you to understand what is the net profit which you're earning out of the business. The return on capital employed tells you that if you have invested 1 rupee in the 100 rupees in the business, how much of return are you getting on that 100 rupees? So basically, each of you as a promoter in the business, you have invested your money in the business because you find that the money invested in the business will give you a higher return than what if you invested in the market. So that is what is return on capital employed, and that enables you to understand whether you are earning enough money to continue with the business. The capital structure is obviously the size of net worth. This is obviously telling you in terms of what is the capital invested in the business when you started the business, and also what is the retention of the money in the business. And obviously the gearing, which is your total net to tangible net worth. This is very important measure because this also the bankers look at, and this enables you to understand if you are very highly geared. I mean, if you have got very high debt, then obviously the chances of availing funds would reduce, because that would be considered as a high risk. So you also need to evaluate this, and you need to understand these ratios. Working capital management in terms of your current ratio, that is what is the current assets to current liability. Ideal ratio is ideally it should be more than 1. Bank limit utilization and gross current asset days is basically what is your cash conversion cycle. This tells you of the working capital required, how soon can you get the money back from the business. And the bank limit utilization is also very important to understand what is the utilization limits of the current funding which you have availed. So this is your working capital management. So what is the it is very important to understand how SME grading will help you out. So it helps you in financial assistance, where you can get quicker processing of loans, and you can get facility enhancements very quickly done, because this is a structured product in terms of the report, and all those things can be readily provided to the banker and financier. And because CRISIL is a known name in the industry, and we have got tie-ups with various MOUs, you can also get, we have got MOUs with various banks, and you can get interest rate benefits over there. Also, you can get interest linked to the rating. So the SME gradings are linked to certain interest benefits which you can get. So if you have got a SME grading from SME 1 to 2, you get an interest rate discounts. And if it is between SME 3 to 5, obviously there are other benefits which are available in terms of the interest rate discounts. And obviously the lower the rating, the higher the risk, and hence you might have to put in extra additional collateral. However, this becomes very important tool to understand where you stand vis-a-vis the other SMEs, and how quickly you can get the loan. So marketing assistance is because this SME grading creates a credibility for you and trust amongst the business partners. So you there is because this is compared with other SMEs and industry benchmarks, it helps you to understand your credibility, establish your credibility in the market. And we also publish these ratings on our websites. So we obviously take permission from you, but we publish these ratings on the websites, and these are available. You can view these ratings on the websites, and this also becomes an effective tool for you to differentiate. So if you are approaching any of your clients for any of future businesses, this the SME report can also be given to them so that they can understand what is the differentiator for you, what is different in your business, and how financially stable you are. Again, as I mentioned, it is important tool for self-evaluation because we highlight the strengths and weaknesses for you. It helps you to understand what are the strengths and also the weaknesses so that you can work on those weaknesses and improve if there are any areas which needs improvement. It helps you to understand that and you can take measures to improve those. It is a self-evaluation of business and financial risk, and obviously we compare it with benchmarks. So management practices are also looked at with benchmarks. So it helps you a very important self-evaluation tool, and you can obviously take various governance practices and risk and management practices can be initiated by you once you get this report. So this is basis of a study. We have seen that 44% of the graded MSMEs have improved their scores on business and management parameters. So when they did the grading the first time, they were able to understand that there were some important aspects which they need to be taken care of. We had highlighted the weaknesses in that reports, and when we did a subsequent rating for them or a grading for them, we have found that 44% of these MSMEs were able to take mitigants or take measures to improve their scores, and they had improved. 44% have improved their scores. We have also seen that there has been healthy upgradation, that is 1.88 times of upgrades as compared to the downgrades. So we see that MSMEs are very careful because when they start the credit rating process, they are not aware of some of these aspects which are looked in by the banker. And when they start to analyze and operate in that manner, which we highlight in the strengths and weaknesses, they are able to improve upon their grading, and that helps them to access the funding in the market. More than 60% of the graded MSMEs have received additional bank finance. So that itself says that if you want to access formal credit, it is very important for you to obviously get yourself graded, and this is a formal process and helps you to enable better access to the credit in the market. And we have also seen that at least 1 in 2 rated MSMEs, that means 50% of the rated MSMEs have got reduction in borrowing. So after the grading, they were able to go back to their bankers, the existing bankers, and show them the reports and show them that they are very good in their financial and business and management perspective, and they were able to get interest rate subventions and benefits. So that is all from my side. And obviously, you can, at the end of the session, we will be glad to answer any of your questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bakir. Whatever be the queries or the questions, we will take it later together. Now, moving further, we have Mr. Rakesh Purana, who is the Senior Manager at the National Stock Exchange.
So we'll have first from SIDBI.
Should we start from SIDBI first?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have Mr. Rahul Priyadarshi, who is General Manager in SIDBI and its regional in charge of Chandigarh region. He took charge of Chandigarh in October 2018. Prior to taking his current assignment, he functioned with the executive assistant of the CMD of SIDBI and handled venture capital operations and board division. He also worked in the resources management vertical of the bank and has negotiated several lines of credit with international agencies. Over to Mr. Rahul Priyadarshi.
Thank you very much, sir. And good afternoon to all the dignitaries, all the MSME entrepreneurs, and all the prospective entrepreneurs as well. It's a pleasure to be here associating with PhD Chamber of Commerce.
Hello.
And at the outset, I would be failing in my duty in case if I not make a mention of Dr. Kumar, who is one of the doyens of this ecosystem as the earlier CMD of NSIC. It's always a pleasure to hear Mr. Mohit Jain with his deep insights into the systems of the MSME ecosystem. The presentation by Mr. Bakir was also very insightful, and it will be very helpful for the other MSME entrepreneurs. I have also seen in the minute-to-minute program that there are other speakers lined up, and it will be very beneficial for the other entrepreneurs to be listening to them, because the ecosystem has changed in the last few years, I would say a decade, and it has become very robust. And what I mean by robust is that there are alternative sources of financing, alternative sources of knowing the credibility of the prospective borrowers, alternative sources of funding, and all have been listed here. So it's when Mr. Kumar mentioned that SIDBI has signed an MOU with PhD, yes, sir, we are aware of it, and it will be we'll be very happy to partner with PhD in that segment where we can help the MSME entrepreneurs. Just to make a mention that yesterday itself, we had done one program with PhD Chamber of Commerce Haryana, where we did a virtual tour of a large enterprise for the benefit of MSME entrepreneurs, and how the small help from SIDBI about a decade ago to that enterprise changed the life of that enterprise, and now they are somewhere around 500 crore turnover. So it was a very insightful detail that the promoters gave to the MSME entrepreneurs, and how the MSME entrepreneurs can go ahead on their journey to entrepreneurship. I would just like to mention before we start our presentation that SIDBI has also recently developed one asset restructuring module, where the MSME entrepreneurs who feel stressed in their repayments and other can approach their banks by keying in some data in that asset restructuring module. It will give an output. They can share it with their banks. The banks can either accept it or make certain changes. There is a window of RBI open up till March 31, 2021. And I would request the MSME entrepreneurs, in case if they are feeling stress in some aspects of their payments, in their financial inflows, please make use of this restructuring module which SIDBI has developed. We have signed an MOU with PNB, Indian Bank, Bank of Baroda, and we have also placed a counselor to help the MSME entrepreneurs use this module. So as a development financial institution, it is our duty to make the entrepreneurs aware of the various systems, benefits, other things available to them, and also place different aspects which will also place in the ecosystem, different aspects which will help them. SIDBI and the MSME ecosystem have grown together in the last 25, 30 years, where these ecosystem of venture capital, the ecosystem of collateral-free lending, the ecosystem of mudra loans, you name it, and then we have been there, or the TReDS, which was being mentioned. TReDS, as you all know, is functioning, the discounting scheme, e-discounting of receivables. We have been there, and the scheme of bills discounting was started by SIDBI in 1991, just to make known to people assembled here. So with these words, I would request Ramneet to please share the presentation. I have with me, along with me, my AGM and branch in charge of Chandigarh office, Mr. Piyush Bhargava. He is with me. He will also run through the presentations, speak on it. So Ramneet, just start. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So serving the unserved, of course, we go wherever others don't go. And our respected Shri Dr. Kumar had mentioned that the private sector will have a different orientation. So a private sector will never come up to a greenfield project. So I hope, Dr. Kumar, you will agree to that. So greenfield projects and all, it is left to us to finance. Secondly, of course, this is the slide on the importance of the Indian MSME sector. So I'll just skip
The
on
disturbance
this.
in your connectivity, sir. Your voice is not coming.
Was it for me, sir, Rahul Priyadarshi? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Sir, the gentleman who mentioned, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Of course, the classification of MSMEs has undergone a change, and the change in investment and turnover. So just to mention that from 1 crore to 50 crore in the plant and machinery, and from 5 crore turnover to 250 crore. So this is the quantum jump that has been made. So now a lot many entities will come into this segment of MSME. Next one, please. For this part, regarding the key products of SIDBI, Mr. Piyush, you can just take over and explain, please. I have not gone into the various details of the ecosystem, the benefits available, because the earlier speakers would have already mentioned all this. Rating issue was also discussed. So what we have ultimately, apart from everything, ultimately what matters is the vitamin M, what I say, vitamin money, which is needed to finance, which is needed to run the entity. So what schemes we have, we'll just go into details of that. Start, Piyush.
Yeah. Good afternoon, respected guests, participants in MSME ecosystem, MSME entrepreneurs. As James sir has mentioned, SIDBI has wide range of schemes, right for establishing greenfield units to their expansion, to purchase of machineries in various forms. So we have designated our products into two sets. One is project finance, where we provide finance for setting up of units, where investment in land building is involved, major expansion is involved. Then for serving quick, finance needs of MSME entrepreneurs for purchase of one or two machineries, where that large investment is not involved. So we have got quick delivery products for serving those needs. So in machinery finance schemes, we have Speed and Speed Plus and Pratham for purchase of machinery. Then we have a Star scheme for setting up rooftop solar panel sets. Then in project finance, we have normal direct credit scheme, where we provide finance for setting up new units, large expansions, and then we do provide working capital to MSME entrepreneurs along with term loan. Next slide, please. Next, please. So this is our first product in quick delivery products, where we finance need for urgent expansion to get where entrepreneurs wants to purchase machinery. So without going into details of project finance, these are quick delivery products where our endeavor is to sanction within 4 days of submission of application and disbursement within next 7 days. So total of 7 working days, right from submitting application to getting the money in favor of machinery supplier. So where here we target MSMEs who are expanding in same line of business, needing fast credit delivery and efficient service. So in this, we do finance new to bank and existing customers. Here we have in eligibility, we have kept vintage of 3 years, 2 years of cash profits, Then the key attraction is that we provide 100% finance to cost of machinery along with GST. In this, interest rates are very attractive, right from 7.99 to 8.42%. Cash collateral in form of 20 to 25% is kept with SIDBI, and that is interest earning. So in this, for these, greenfield units are also covered with co-borrower concept. So as I told, our endeavor is to sanction within 4 working days. Here repayment is up to 2 to 5 years. Next slide, please. So this is again a scheme for providing machinery finance. In speed, we provide finance up to 1 to 2 crores depending upon the cost of machinery. And for high-end machinery, we have kept this variance of speed. Here, here we provide a loan up to 3 crores. And again, the target customers are those MSMEs. We are working in same line of business, and they want to purchase additional machinery for serving additional orders or small expansions. Here again, 100% finance is provided. Interest rates are very attractive, right from 7.85 to 8.62%. And depending upon internal rating that we do on the basis of financials, management, industry, cash collateral in range of 20 to 30%. Here again, it is interest bearing. So entrepreneurs earn interest on the FD placed as cash collateral with us. Again, our endeavor is to sanction within 4 working days and disbursement in next 3 days. So total 7 working days, we try to provide finance in favor of machinery supplier so that machine can be delivered and advantage can be taken by entrepreneurs. Basic requirement also includes the standard CIBIL and CMR scores. And repayment period is again 2 to 5 years. Application is kept very concise. It is 1-page application and very short requirement of documents. Next slide, please. For Speed and Speed Plus, SIDBI has entered into MOU with 40 odd machinery manufacturers all over India, which include all renowned manufacturers. So those, if MSMEs are purchasing machine from those MOUs, we are covering under Speed and Speed Plus. And if machinery is purchased from suppliers where SIDBI is not having any MOU, we are covering under Pratham scheme. Again, this is quick delivery, one of quick delivery products. These are, we target those MSME units which are purchasing, and in this second-hand machinery is also included. So maximum we can provide 3 crore loan in under this scheme. Again, 100% finance is provided on the cost of machinery along with GST. Cash collateral in range of 30 to 35% is capped with SIDBI, and it is interest bearing. Repayment period is up to 5 years. And again, since this is quick delivery product, so our quick TAT is our endeavor. Application is kept is very simple. Next slide, please. So STAR, we call it as SIDBI term loan assistance for rooftop solar PV panels. So MSME units who are planning to reduce their power bill by setting up solar panels in-house over unused rooftops, we can cover under this scheme. So we 25 kilowatt to 500 kilowatt plants are covered under this scheme. And loan amount is from 10 lakh to 2.5 crores. Under this, new and existing customers are covered. 100% finance is provided with very low collateral requirement. We have entered MOU with Tata Power and Hero Power, where if they are setting up rooftop solar panels for MSMEs, assistance can be provided with SIDBI. With very attractive notions. 100% is provided, very low collateral security is required, and again repayment period is capped at 2 to 5 years. Next slide, please. So many a times, many MSME units are facing problems for getting working capital. So SIDBI do provide working capital for own customers. We have banking platform MOUs with City Union Bank, Yes Bank, and IDBI Bank. So all sanction related formalities are done by SIDBI, and then MSMEs can avail working capital facility with on these banking platforms. All standard eligibility criteria are there. So this is as far as SIDBI schemes are concerned. Over to you, sir.
This was in a nutshell the various schemes of SIDBI, which any person approaching a branch level office of SIDBI will come across. Because we do have a lot of schemes and other aspects where we do startup financing and other things, but it is not done at the branch level. So that is why we have not taken all those things into account. Apart from this, the various, one of the major activity of SIDBI in the field is to do the promotion and developmental activities, where we nurture young minds and turn them towards entrepreneurship. At the same time, we nurture the young minds in schools, colleges to take up entrepreneurship as a future. Because jobs are shrinking, and we advise them, exhort them to become job givers rather than job seekers. We have another various activities being undertaken for the benefit of women entrepreneurs, the poor, the left out, through our various promotional and developmental activities, where we give support to certain agencies so that they are able to bring those people in the workshop or in the seminars to undertake certain livelihood activities so that they can stand on their feet. And this is ranging from various areas of Kashmir to Haryana to Punjab. We in the region or in the state of Punjab, we have sponsored a program where women in a village in Mirzapur in Patiala district are being trained in the Fulkari art. The first point is that they should be trained, but the second point is that they should have some linkage with lending institutions so that they can start their own work. So SIDBI is working towards the both leg of this aspect. Other than this, in case if the participants have questions, we will address specific queries of each participant. And in case if Rimneet allows, we can handle the questions now also or in the interaction session.
Sir, I think we'll take up these queries in interaction.
Okay. Thanks a lot. We will do that.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Rahul. Thank you very much for the elaborative presentation by you and your team. Moving further, sir, we will take the questions a little later. We have Mr. Anand Prakash Jha, who is Associate Director and Branch Head of Chandigarh.
Sir, we have from Mr. Rakesh Khurana.
Okay, right.
We'll follow the sequence.
Yeah, I was speaking that and then you put up the next, right. And
That's
being
fine,
a, very hot subject is the listing of NSE nowadays. So let's hear Mr. Rakesh Khurana, who is, the senior manager at NSE and having a lot of 15-year experience in the financial markets. Mr. Khurana, please.
Thank you, Sachdevaji. And I think Mr. H.P. Kumar, Mr. Jain, and Mr. Rahul Priyadarshini also set the stage for me. It's they have the, I think Mr. Rahul is also talk about the vitamin M. Vitamin M is money. Without money, you cannot run the business. Business is always required more and more money. So you can do the more expansion, you can do the more mergers and all the activities you can expand more. So that is the reason that 2012 SEBI and Government of India give the guidance to the exchanges why the small companies cannot access the capital market. Earlier, the big companies also access the capital market. On that time, we have launched this platform in 2012. Till now, both the stock exchanges, we have more than 500 companies are listed on these exchanges. And on if we talk about the only NSE, 214 companies are listed on NSE. We have raised approximately 3,300 crores in these companies. The market capitalization of these companies is more than 13,000 crore now. And if we talk about the migration of these companies to the main board, more than 65 companies has migrated to the main board to SME board. And the best part of this stock exchange, we call this is a separate segment in NSE. We call for this is for the emerging companies, so we call NSE Emerge for SME companies. The criteria, we don't follow the MSME guideline. As per the SEBI, we follow the SEBI guideline. Your company paid up capital, post-issue paid up capital is less than 25 crores, and your 3 years operational history. And operational history means that means in those 3 years, you have 2 years, you are a profit-making company. This is the basic guideline from the SEBI side. And the positive net worth, that is the basic criteria from, I think more or less all companies are completing this basic guideline. And what is the, what will we think, first thing, Rahul Priyadarshini sir also talk about the debt funding and all, HP Kumar sir also talk about the debt funding. And the first when we will start any business, that time the always entrepreneur or a promoter or director put his own money. Second, he goes to the institutions, financial institutions, or any bank or SIDBI, NSSIC. And the third level, when he will think about the venture capitalist, private equity, or SME listing. SME listing is a platform for those companies who have the good scalable business and real growth of such story. Sometimes a company have the very good company in his sector, but somebody don't know about that company. So how they will showcase to the investor, and they will come to the invest in these companies. So that is the basically platform to start your journey to the small board, SME board, and then you can migrate to the main board. And if we talk about some good examples from the North India, like Beta Drugs from Chandigarh, they have come with the IPO of rupees approximately, that time they have IPO, total company size is approximately 72 crores. Now the valuation of that company is more than 150 crores in more than 2 years span. If we talk about some more examples from Delhi onwards, it's a Delhi-based company, Sirca Paints. They have come with the IPO of rupees approximately 79 crores, and they have diluted 25% of their equity. That time valuation of that company is approximately 320 crores. Now the valuation of that company is more than 1,000 crores. And we have some more example from Delhi, like High-Tech Pipes. JaipurKurti.com is the smallest issue done on NSE Emerge is 3.6 crores only. We have done maximum is 100 crores and lowest is 3.6 crores. It depends on your credentials, what kind of credentials you have, what kind of business scalability you have. We have so many IT companies. We have covered approximately 23 sectors in different sectors, different streams. We have IT company. We don't have any specific bias on any basically any sector or any manufacturing company. We are happy to take service sector also, and it depends on the valuation of your business only. What the business get? Subse important, where is the value proposition for issuer who's issuing a capital to the public? What is the benefit to the issuer? The first thing what issuer get, the efficient raise of fund. That means if you are go for the capital market, your fund cost, when you get the fund after IPO, so that you are once you earn, then you pay the dividend, or you can retain your company for the next level. But if you take some funds from the bank or any other institution, so your bitter from the interest or any other mode of payment will start from first day. But here you will first you earn the money and then you will pay according to your board decision. That is not compulsion. Second, most important thing, the visibility of your company. Visibility of your company will improve to the next level. maybe you are the best player in your sector, or your vendor or your local player is know you well. But if you are a NSE listed or an exchange listed company, so your visibility goes to the investor of the pan India. So many investors just seeking your company in a different sector. Maybe you are the best company. We have so many examples. Like small companies are monopoly on this their segment, so they will get the special kind of investments also. And credibility. Once you are listed, your company credibility is also increased. And if your credibility is increased, that means you have the more open to more financial institutions. Like SIDBI will provide more loan, and banks also basically banks debt ratios also increase because you have put the equity in a company. So debt ratios increase, so you will get the more loan from the banks also. Or appropriate valuation of your company. Appropriate valuation means you will get the right valuation of your company. Once you are listed, the straightforward formula of your valuation, how much shares you have, and what is your today's price, multiply, that is your company valuation. If we talk about the even big joints like Reliance and all, also they have the more than 2 lakh crores rupees valuation, 3 lakh crore rupees valuation. What kind of equity they have or multiplies today's price, that is the valuation of that company. And corporate governance, your corporate governance is also increased in different manner. And so definitely in all the banks and also happy to provide more loans to you. And we already discussed like migration to the main. Every company is dreams we are NSE listed or exchange listed company. So that is the best way. You can start a journey with the SME exchange, and after 2 years and increase your paid capital to more than 10 CR and migrate to the main board. Now till now we have migrated more than 65 companies to this SME board to the main board, and the valuation creation is also done these companies in a good way. There are so many examples, like we already discussed Sirca Paints, Beta still on an SME board. Sirca Paints migrated to a main board. Hitex Pipes also migrated to the main board. Infobeans from the Indore also migrated to the main board. And if we talk about from Bhilwara, Madhya Bharata also is also migrated to the main board. REP and Rudra Abhishek Enterprise Limited, it's a civil construction consultancy company for smart cities. They also migrated to the main board last month in December 12th. That time the valuation of that company is more than 150 crores. And another best part, what you will get from the valuer proposition, the liquidity. Now if you are unlisted pair, so your shares have no value. But if you are a listed pair, your share has a value, and you can pledge these shares to any bank, any NBFC, and get the more funds. And sometimes you require more fund for merger and acquisitions. That's also done by the swap of equity shares. Your working capital don't go, and that means you are saving so much money, and you can earn more money with not spending much more in terms of cash. And worst part is when you have the good caliber employees, and if they will get the good opportunity in another MNC, they will migrate to or shift to the MNC. You can retain them to giving some ESOPs, and your shares also can be used as a collateral to different matter. Or another best part, you're accessing the wider capital market. It's just a beginning. After that, you can go for FPO, you can go for the preferential issue, or you can go for the placement to the so many institutions of your shares. Like now the valuation, if we talk about the Sirca only, that time valuation is 300 crores only. Now the valuation 1,000 crores. If they are diluting only 5% of their equity, that means they will get the more than 50 or 60,000. So that kind of valuation you will get through capital market only. And we also work with so many associations like PSD, CII, and all, with closely working from last whole year with PSD with different states like Uttarakhand, Haryana, Punjab, and Delhi also. And we also work with government sector, government MSME departments like today, Punjab government is providing subsidy to 5.5 lakh rupees subsidy to the NSC listed companies only NSC listed companies, and Haryana government provides 5 lakh rupees subsidy to the NSC listed companies. And Himachal government also provide 10 lakh rupees subsidy to the NSC listed companies. And Gujarat also provide 5 lakh rupees subsidy. Rajasthan also provide 2.5 lakh rupees subsidy to the exchange listed companies. So government also supporting this kind of model, because the MSME is the backbone of industry, and we will support in any manner. You can connect me or any other person. Ramneet will provide my number, and we were happy to help you if somebody wants to one-to-one consultation and all. Thank you very much from my side. If you have any question, I'd be happy to answer.
So, Dr. Kumar, I think we can take the queries of the participants. Yes, Sadhyavaj sir is also here.
We will request the participants to kindly introduce themselves and then ask your question to the relevant speaker so that they can answer your query. Thank you. Mittal Saab, can you and your team would like to come forward for any query first?
BS, so there is one query from Mr. Anand. I'm going to unmute him.
Okay. There's Sanjay Gupta ji also who has raised hand.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Anand, you can ask your query, please.
This is regarding SIDBI. They have given the presentation regarding speed and Pratham. They have mentioned two schemes. One is speed and the other one is Pratham. So there's no mention about the collateral in these schemes. If collateral will be applicable to these schemes or not?
Sir, it was mentioned. I am Rahul Priyadarshi this side. It was mentioned in that you have to just place a certain amount of fixed deposit.
Fixed deposit.
There is no collateral in it. My teammate, Mr. Piyush Bhargava, mentioned it, that there is no collateral required in it. And there is certain amount of FDR which you place with SIDBI, and you get 100% finance of the machinery.
Right. And the rate of interest mentioned is about 8.35%.
Sir, that will depend upon we have so many rating agencies there, it's a range. So it's very competitive, that much I can tell you. The better your rating you have, the better rate of interest you get. So इसलिए वो rating का क्या होता है आनंद साहब? The point is that why do you get a good rating? Why do you get a bad rating? Why do you get a moderate rating? That's one aspect which I have always emphasized in these type of gatherings.
That's only a spelling mistake. The memberships.
So the point is that you have to be very cautious. All your payments need to be made in time. All your loans have to be serviced, whether it's a credit card, whether it's a vehicle loan, whether you have given guarantee to somebody. So I often take this example. One company which was listed on the NSE sat with a cash of around 70 crore. And I can know, Mr. Khurana will know about this company, but the promoter had given a guarantee for his son's friend to buy a vehicle. And the son's friend defaulted on it. And do you know that a company with 70 crore cash in hand was not able to get a loan of 1 crore or 1.5 crore? Of course, it had gone in for certain expansion and was keeping that cash, but it was not eligible for a loan of 1 crore. So all these aspects keep your credit rating high, low, moderate. So that's one aspect which I would like to mention at this point, that you should be very cautious about your credit rating these days. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So we have another query from Mr. Sanjay Gupta. So you can ask to query, please.
This question is for generally the panelists. My humble submission is that, like Mr. Rahul mentioned, that just because of 1 crore guarantee, we could not get a loan further. So meaning if one is for some reason is sick for a while, that means he's gone forever. That means he should consider him dead forever. That is my question. Second, now, sir, let me complete my full question, please. I have got 30-40 years of experience in small industry. I have seen all the money is actually for the big industry. They get first 10,000 crores loan and settle is for 1,000 crore, 9,000 crore written off by the government. We don't understand. Actually, it's all taxpayer money going down the drain. I don't know if you can take a call on this. A 90,000 crore DFHL money gone to Piramal for 10,000 crores. Rest 14,000 crore to be paid in 7 years. We have a great case in Ludhiana. 6,000 crores settled for 1,000 crores. I mean, we don't understand what is going on actually. The money is only for the big players. The small players, just tell me when the banks are doing consortium funding, where is the security against that? There is no security. I talked to my banker in Ludhiana. He is a member of the 1,200 crore consortium and his funding is 100 crores. I asked him that you are fighting with me every day for pennies. Tell me you have guarantee for 1,100 crores. He says no. So can you please put some light on my very honorably my question.
Ramneet, if you permit, can I enter?
Yes, sir. Why not?
Yeah. Sanjay Gupta ji, first of all, at least the allegations or the points that you made about big industry, small industry. SIDBI is Small Industries Development Bank of India. We don't fund the large industries. That is one point. That's a general statement which you made. And that is for the other panelists or for others to respond to. Secondly, I don't say that in case if one is having a low score at one point of time, he's dead. The point is that you need to improve your scores. In case if it's a technical default, there are ways and means to get it removed, to pay off and then get your scores improved. Sanjay Gupta ji, the point is that this ecosystem has seen a major and remarkable change in the last 15-20 years. And the issues are becoming more robust. I would not like to comment upon what the large industries have done or what DHFL and other things. Of course, it is being done through a process of law. If somebody has gone to NCLT and buys something, it's a process of law. And we don't want to comment on that. But the point is that any bankable and any Dr. Kumar had made a very pertinent point that don't think that if you are eligible, you will get the loan. You should be credit worthy also. So that is one very important point which he had made. So that is all that I would like to say. Apart from this, I don't know what's happening in this system. At least in SIDBI, we are only for small scale industries and medium enterprises.
Sanjay ji, let me come here. In fact, what you mentioned, am I audible? Ramneet ji?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
No, in fact, I was tempted to talk about that, what Sanjay Gupta ji mentioned. In fact, what he said is, in many of the cases is right. And large industries, their projects are also big and probably the loan amounts are also big. And that is how the banks have, given them over the last maybe 2-3 decades or even more, the higher amount of funding. And once the NPA classification norms were introduced and as per the Basel, committee requirements since 2010-11 onwards, all these, cases started coming to light because of the provisions required. and that is how we came to know. Otherwise पहले तो पता ही नहीं लगता था. And now at least we come to know that these large accounts which are getting NPAs, I mean that is a different story कि NPA norms को बदलने की जरूरत है, वो that we are writing to the we are taking up with the government. But fact is that large industries, large corporates, large borrowers have got a lot of money, whereas small still has been struggling. That is a fact what you indicated. But gradually, because of the policies of the government, because of the priority sector allocation, because of the targets fixed for banks, the small sector also has been getting, attention of the banks and also of the government. But I would say that the gap still continues. The requirement is not fully met. As I mentioned in my address also, there is a huge gap. And for that, bridging that gap, naturally, we have to prepare ourselves. And that is how these programs like the one which is being held today, like the chambers are helping the MSMEs to prepare themselves to become credit worthy, these rating agencies. And that is the purpose, in fact, to make them healthy and to make them presentable, to make them credit worthy, because large industries are able to present everything the way they want. They engage the services of the professionals, chartered accountants and firms and consultants. And that is how they are able to do that. Small are not able to do. So there is a need to, in fact, make proper, case for the MSMEs proposals. And now the government has said that in case you have any complaint against anybody, I'm talking of MSMEs, come on the Champions portal, just open Champions MSME, lodge your complaint, action will be taken. So that is what the government has said. And if you give general statements, then they say that you bring us the specific cases. But what you say by and large, that difference remains. Over to you, Ivnit.
So there is one query from Mr. S.K. Singhal, and he's saying, does SIDBI require any guarantee from existing bank for providing any loan facility? FDs remain as collateral, which are at much lower rate of interest than SIDBI lending rate.
I think SIDBI, Mr. Rahul is there, he can answer.
Yeah. Sir, I have sent
Guarantee of
you
other-
this query.
I don't know what guarantee of other banks are not required. What you mentioned, Rimneet, was he is asking whether guarantee of any other bank is required. No
Mr. Singhal,
guarantee.
if you like to, question Rahul sir, I have unmuted you. So
Yeah, yeah.
kindly, yeah.
Mr. Rahul, thank you for saying that there is no collateral required by you. But on the other hand, you say that FDs are taken as collateral.
Arey, sir, collaterals are required. There are different schemes. And when we say that we take FD, we also do 100% of financing, which is why आप जब कोई मशीन खरीदेंगे, आपकी contribution जो जाती है सर, उसको हम लोग FD रख लेते हैं. That is how the scheme is made.
FD का रेट क्या है?
सर
FD का रेट क्या होगा? 5% होगा.
हाँ जी सर.
और आप 8 से ऊपर देंगे तो it is other way around ना.
सर आप अगर अपनी वो कहीं पे भी पैसे देंगे, कोलैटरल भी नहीं है, कुछ तो है, तो फास्ट स्कीम के लिए some way we have to make out, and we have done 2000 cases this year, sir. जी जी. So it's
how much percentage of the loan?
100%, sir. 100% for that machinery loan.
नहीं उसमें से
basically Mr. Singhal, what Mr. Priyadarshini is saying कि जो आप वैसे normally 25% देते रखते और उसको कुछ नहीं मिलता, आप उसको FD में रखेंगे, आपको उसका इंटरेस्ट मिल जाएगा और आपको 100% लोन मिलेगा, राइट मिस्टर प्रियदर्शन?
इसका मतलब 25% कोलैटरल हो गया, ठीक है?
नहीं सर, आपको अगर आप कोलैटरल देते, आपको कुछ उसके ऊपर मिलता नहीं, आप खर्च देते.
अरे कोलैटरल तो मेरा
FD रखेंगे तो उसका ब्याज तो मिलेगा आपको.
कोलैटरल तो एसेट है वो कि उसको ब्याज नहीं मिलता. कोलैटरल तो मेरा अपना एसेट है, फिक्स एसेट है, उसको कोलैटरल दे सकते हैं. प्रॉपर्टी है, प्रॉपर्टी को दे देते कोलैटरल.
Singhal साहब, it's you have to weigh and balance all your assets that you have. This is one product which has found a very good traction in the market.
Very good.
And people are just lapping it at it. आप भी कभी आए हमारे ऑफिस, we will discuss it. It's a good product.
Thank you.
Come. आइए
Thank you,
आप
sir.
कभी,
Thank you.
for a cup of tea at least.
Oh, so nice of you. So nice of you.
जी, आइए.
Okay.
So we have another query from Mr. Ashok Gupta. He is asking, can we know that subsidy under CLSS is still available?
Rimnit, is it to me?
Sir, any speaker who find this question relevant can answer. Can we know that subsidy under CLSS is still available?
Actually, Credit Linked Capital Subsidy Scheme or CLCSS scheme is still available, is being implemented. The only thing is the budget allocation under CLCSS is always limited. So what happens is it does service to the first come first served basis by the government. It's a government scheme, Ministry of MSME. So if the budget is available, the applicants are lucky to get the funding done under that. If the budget gets exhausted, they come in line, and then whenever the budget comes, they are allowed that. But the scheme is continuing.
And so there is one query from Mr. Tushar Tiwari. He's asking, do startups also get rating? Because 3 years financial performance may not be available for them.
I think our friend from rating can answer.
What should I repeat? Do startups also get ratings? Because 3 years financial performance may not be available for them.
No, so yeah, hi, this is Mubashir. I can answer that question. So basically, startups, if they have at least done 1 year of business, also they can get a rating done. It is not necessary that they have to have all 3 years financials. At least 1 year of financials, which showcases that they have done some business, or at least that is what is required to get the rating done.
Rimneet, I have a question.
Yes, sir. You can ask, our experts are here.
I have a question for SIDBI. That Government of India, whenever launches any scheme, they mostly launch through SIDBI, and they have a lot of leverage given to SIDBI to support the MSME. Whereas your team in the branches or offices really not very supportive, and we need to chase them many times for anything which we have as an industry has to move forward their applications or any loan or something. Like other way, banks are now more friendly, more encouraging responses coming from the banks for the financing, and they don't even take 10 days to give you the loan or the approval of the application. The rate of interest is also not much difference now, because banks are also doing on 8.2, 8.1, 8%, and your rate of interest is almost same here. So I would request SIDBI to kindly look into this aspect and make your team more, answerable, number one. Number two, there should be some rigid targets which associations can really help to you, like the Mohali Industries Association, Derabachi Industries Association, PhD Chamber. All these, bodies can help you while sitting in Chandigarh. And third is the process time should be reduced, because whenever I have noticed that whenever someone calls your people, if they are on tour or they are not available in office, the things will pending and delayed for days together. This should be the auto mechanism in the system, which should be having form approvals and everything on an auto mode. Thank you.
Rimneet ji, with your permission, and Sachdeva ji, with your permission, I would like to respond.
Yes, sir, and there are 2 more queries for SIDBI.
Sachdeva ji, first of all, thank you for the comments that you have made. I take it very positively. And I am very happy when we get some critical comments from our ecosystem, from the ecosystem. It's not that it's always goody-goody which makes me happy. The points that you have raised, there are sometimes definitely human issues involved. Because sir, rightly you said that a human intervention should be limited, and that is what we are moving towards. You lodge an application, it will come into the system, it will get reported, and then the time also starts ticking that yes, it has been lodged and it has to be done. Unfortunately or fortunately, what happens is that in the project financing, machine financing, each and every case has to be visited. And with a limited manpower, sir, sometimes the officers have to do the pre-disbursement visit, post-disbursement visit, because that is what is required. In case if he or she misses one visit and in case the case goes into some problem afterwards, the officer will have it. But nonetheless, when I had joined in, Mr. Mohit was also speaking about the various automated processes, AI and all, the digitalization that has to take place. I am very happy about it that you have told me this. We do keep on sensitizing our officers from time to time, but sometimes, sir, it is human limitation. Please don't take it that they don't respond, but sometimes it is just human limitation which prevents them from responding immediately. That is one point. Secondly, sir, if you recall, you had spoken to me about some industrial oxygen issue, sir. You had called me. Sir, I am telling you, because you had made a request, I fought with my head office and I have also a kitty of around 5 crore for that. But sir, then nobody approached us. 5 crore at a very competitive rate of interest, since you told that you have been doing it for healthcare segment. And based on the recommendation of Punjab government, we had a very small kitty so that we could help some MSME enterprises. That money is still available, sir. If you want, that will be the best rate that you can ever get. Secondly, sir, point you made कि दूसरे लोग 10 दिन में देते हैं, 10 दिन तो हम तो 4-5 दिन की बात कर रहे हैं, sir. 10 days is a long time. We are now hitting at 4 to 5 days. And lastly, sir, the friendly atmosphere we will feel in case if we have a cup of tea together.
Right, sir. Why not? Why not? Sure.
So,
But,
sir, just a last point. To take this ahead, we can fix up a meeting with the association members together and discuss various issues. You set a date, we will do it across.
Done, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, the COVID policy where the medical oxygen cylinders were not part of earlier scheme, we rather at PhD chamber level pushed Mr. Nitin Gadkari for taking it, in the policy. And then we were never informed that it has happened. They assured us, but whether it has come in the scheme or not, we don't know. So this is the first time I'm hearing from you.
Sir, you come to us, sir. आपने problem बताई हमें, हमने problem का, and I can show you that has been done about 6 months back, sir.
Okay, right. Chalo, thank you.
आप बताओ.
We will.
Excellent,
So we
Mr.
have
President.
one
Excellent.
query from Mr. Nitin Khurana. He is asking, as per MSME ministry, 1 crore loan is without collateral. Is it true? And how does SIDBI play? What role SIDBI play in this?
Ramneet, I will intervene. We have to have one meeting with the different chambers, representatives, and PhD office with the Mr. Priya sir and secretary.
Sure, sir. We'll plan one interaction.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Please carry on.
It's done, sir. Date will be yours, time will be yours, venue will be yours, money will be ours.
Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, sir. Deva, sir, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mittal Sahab has
Everything,
come. He has shown his face. Let Mittal Sahab speak.
everything is clear. I think to all my members, and thank you very much. It's indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to propose a vote of thanks. I would like to thank all our eminent speakers, Dr. Kumar, Mr. Mohit Jain, Rahul Priyadarshi, Mr. Bakir, and Mr. Rakesh Khurana. बहुत अच्छा हमारे को चीजें इंडस्ट्री को सुनने के मिली, चाहे वो कोलैटरल सिक्योरिटी के बारे में, अगर कोई कंप्लेंट है तो उनको कंप्लेंट कैसे किया जाए, कैसे क्रेडिट गारंटी हमारे को इंश्योर हो, एंड सिडबी का जो एक क्विक मशीन फाइनेंसिंग की जो स्कीम है, दैट इज वेरी अट्रैक्टिव with the rate of interest of 7.9 to 8.4%, and the loan amount is to be dispersed within 4 to 7 days from the date of application. So my industry friends, listening to today's discussion has been a very enriching experience for all of us, I think, and I hope the event met your expectations, and I thank industry members for participating in the program. I'm hopeful that the deliberations will yield fruitful results. With these words, I once again thank all of you for your presence and support. Thank you very much.
Sir, there is one last query from Mr. Ashok Gupta. Can we take, if you permit?
Why not?
Mr. Ashok, you can ask your query, please.
मैम मैंने ड्राफ्ट मेल आपको बना के भेज दिया सिद्धू वाले।
Thank you very much.
सर ये भेज दो फिर।
संजय
Mr. Gupta, would you like to ask your query?
I think it's not available.
साइन कौन करेगा सर? साइन करना है कि नहीं?
कर दो, कोई हर्ज नहीं, आप करना चाहो आप कर दो, वो करें वो करना चाहो। हाँ वही।
Primneet, if he is not there, then we can.
Yeah. Let's wind up Primneet now. I think it's
Already time up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Great pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Mohit. Thank you, Sachdeva sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sachdeva.
Thank you, Kumar sir.
Thank you, Mittal Sahab. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rahul. Okay, yeah, madam.